So my original plan for the channel was to get into this slowly, explain the pillars, explain the importance of honesty, trust, communication, respect, and the hidden pillar of consent. So a pillar is just a core principle. So that was kind of my plan. But with the number of views I'm getting, I'm seeing that most people don't care about being honest. You don't really care about building respect. You just want to have, kinky sex, and that's fine. I mean, that's up to you. But your dynamic or your relationship's not going to last very long. So instead of doing that, I want to talk about something that the biggest mistake a lot of dominants make. And the biggest mistake a lot of dominants make is when they first come into this lifestyle is that they fail to establish or set up the boundary between um, play and real life. So, when you have to have that boundary. So when you're in play, your submissive can be your dirty little bee, can be your cum guzzling little slut. They can be, all of this, whatever it is you want to call them. But outside of that, they should be you should give them more respect than what you would give yourself. And they should do the same. Um, you should give them more love and care and whatnot, uh, than you would absolutely give yourself. Um, if, you know, as an example, for that, during play, your submissive is, a dirty little beep, is, you know, uh, can be an object, a sexual object, or a play object for, impact or fire or knife or whatever it is type of play you're into, for your kink. Uh, can be that, but when outside of play, you're opening doors for them. You are cooking them food. You when they're good, you're bringing them. You're buying them gifts. When they complete a task, you're like, hey, good job. You're encouraging them. You're pushing them to expand themselves, and you're really, really setting that boundary between the two different types of treatment that you give them, um, so that there is a clear line in the difference of treatment. The other problem or the other mistake a lot of dominants make is they don't do the self care. They don't do the self evaluation. You don't do the self reflections. You don't do the self work. Being a dominant is a lot of work, and you have to get yourself under control. You have to be in control of your mental state, your emotional state, and your physical state. If your submissive doesn't do what you want them to do, that doesn't mean you call them a bunch of names and are rude and disrespectful. Um, and you do not ever um, be, abusive. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I can say is, don't be abusive. And there's a clear line in that. And so, but that really stems from the dominance point. You have to really step in and you have to really have yourself under control. You have to make sure that if you have an anger issue, you work on that, and you never point that at your submissive. If you have an emotional attachment issue, you have to work on that. Um, if you're just looking for a play partner, you have to be honest with that. Honesty, trust, communication, and respect and the hidden pillar, key, consent, are fundamental in this lifestyle. They're not just an option. They are, I mean, critical. And if you don't put them in yourself first, there's no way you can have them with anybody else. And that's one of the largest mistakes a lot of dominants make. The other issue, the other problem that a lot of dominants make is they're liars. Uh, online, at least online, a lot of dominants are liars because they're not dominants. Let's get that clear. A dominant will not lie to you, even if it hurts your feelings. They don't care. They will. It's not they don't care. It's that honesty is such an important part of the lifestyle that you have to be able to tell somebody something honest in a respectful way that will allow them to receive the information. Um, so one of the biggest mistakes dominants make is, they've been in a lifestyle, and I mean in person, because online experience, I'm sorry, that don't count. It don't. It counts for your knowledge, but it doesn't count for your experience. Um, so, they'll be in the lifestyle for 2 weeks, but they're telling the submissive that they're talking with that they've been in the lifestyle for, 75 years, and they're a great grandmaster, and they're skilled in every type of play there is in the world. But yet they can't tell you the pillars, yet they can't tell you the key principles, and, or they can't tell you why it's important to build trust or to be honest or whatever. So again, one of the biggest mistakes dominants make is, one, they're not honest. Two, they don't draw the boundary because they don't know. Three, they don't make a plan, because you have to have a plan for your submissive to be able to help them grow and for you to grow. And, and I think the fourth biggest mistake that a lot of dominants make is they believe that because they are dominant, they don't have to um, they don't have to admit when they're wrong or admit that they don't know something. Oftentimes, as dominants, we're expected to have all the answers, and sometimes you just don't. And you have to be honest with that. You have to be able to say, "Hey, look, I just don't know that." And you'll be surprised how many submissives will be like, "Oh, you don't know this? Okay, that's cool. We can learn it together." Uh, you'd be surprised how many submissives are okay with that. Look, after 30 something years, I still don't know a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I just don't know. So, I again, I mean, make sure you draw your boundaries. Make sure you work on the pillars with yourself. Make sure you develop that self change. Make sure you're staying in communication with your submissive, both in play and out of play. Draw that boundary. That boundary is super, super important. It's, and above all, remember, this lifestyle is not about sex. I know this is a lot of different stuff, but I this lifestyle is not about sex. It's about emotional, mental, and physical connection. Sometimes that is done through pain. Sometimes that is done through emotional sharing. Sometimes, whatnot. I just thought of another mistake a lot of dominants make. They don't express their feelings. I mean, be stoic with everybody else, but with your partner, with the person you're in a romantic relationship with, you should be able to express how you feel, and not have to deal with everything on your own. But I know this is America, and that's not how men are treated, and that's generally not how dominants are treated. But remember, you're the captain of your ship. You're in charge of the dynamic. That's a lot of responsibility. So stay kinky, stay safe, and, educate yourself properly, and have a good day.